To get the most out of this video, take a second to pause it, or not now, pause it after I finish explaining. Think of something that you know you should be doing for your own good, but aren't doing because it's outside of your comfort zone. Maybe it's to watch less TV and read more books. Or maybe it's to work out when you don't feel like it. Or maybe it's to stop incessantly snacking and try a multi-day fast. Whatever it is, think of something because it will help. Okay, you have an example? I hope you do because I do as well. It's actually making videos like these. That's outside of my comfort zone. You see, this is my comfort zone. It's an okay comfort zone. Inside it is writing blog posts that get hundreds of thousands of views a month. That's pretty cool, I think, but it's not my full potential. This is my full potential. Inside of this giant potential of mine, I'm doing way more than blogging to make my mission come true of making the unconventional conventional and helping people make the most of their trips through life. And part of this potential, I think, involves making videos, which is why I'm doing this now. Now, putting those together, as you can see, I've tapped into a sliver of my potential. I call that overlap my happy place. When I research and write a successful blog post, I'm in my happy place because I feel comfortable doing it, but I also feel fulfilled. Other areas in my happy place include dunking a basketball or giving Kim a big hug and kiss when she comes home. Now think of your own example. Where is your comfort zone? Where is your potential? And is there already a happy place where they overlap? The bajillion-dollar question becomes, how do you expand that comfort zone into your potential so that your happy place is as big as possible? We're going to look at two ways to do so. The first way, stop deluding yourself. You see, this is your delusion bubble. Your delusion bubble is where you think your potential is, and it changes over time. So for example, in high school, my delusion bubble included me being the next Steve Nash NBA basketball star. And now it's to be like a chiller, cooler version of Tim Ferriss, mixed in maybe with a little bit of an older Joey Schweitzer. So what's the big problem with delusion bubbles? Well, because delusion bubbles aren't in the same place as your potential. No matter how hard you try to expand your comfort zone into your delusion bubble, you'll never be able to. Why? Because of the force of reality. The force of reality, it's like gravity. I can reach for the stars trying to be the next Tim Ferriss or Joey Schweitzer, but I don't have the same skills or circumstances as they do. So if I try to fight the force of reality to be just like them, reality is going to beat me up. But you have to do something because reality, like gravity, exerts a constant pressure on your comfort zone. If you just sit there comfortably in the middle of it, it's going to shrink around you. Like for example, if I keep on blogging about the same topics in the same way on the same platforms as I do right now, people's interests are going to change, technology is going to change, and before I know it, I'm going to be all by myself in a little black hole of nothingness with no one paying any attention. So I have to make sure that I hang out on the edges of my comfort zone, preventing the force of reality from constricting it and making it even smaller than it already is. How do you expand your comfort zone into your potential then, without having to fight and lose against the force of reality? You do that by shifting your delusion bubbles into your potential. We do this first and foremost by reframing our identity, because everyone, me included, you included, we think we're someone we're not. But the better idea we have of who we truly are, the more we understand what our true potential is. For example, I used to identify as being a shy guy. But then I read this book called Quiet by Susan Cain, and I completely shifted my identity. I realized that I'm not a shy guy, I'm just introverted. And being introverted doesn't limit my potential nearly as much. And it also gives me a way better idea of where my potential may be. Another great way to separate what is delusion from true potential is trial and error. These videos are actually an example of that. I'm only doing one video a month because I'm putting my all into them. That way, if they don't work out, I have to face the reality that what I think my potential is not actually my true potential, and I have to start trying something different. It also helps to ask people, and not just your mom. Look for demotivational speakers. Demotivational speakers are the types of people who aren't afraid to tell you the reality when you're pushing towards your delusion bubble and not towards your true potential. It hurts sometimes to listen to them, but it helps. So now ask yourself for your own example, what limiting identity, experiment, or person can help you shift your delusion bubble towards your potential? So that's strategy number one for expanding your comfort zone into your potential. Stop deluding yourself. Strategy number two is fighting complacency to stay out of the danger zone. This is your danger zone. Spend too much time in the danger zone and unhappiness, sickness, stupidness, and all sorts of bad things happen to you. Part of my comfort zone is in the danger zone. That's not a good thing. Comfortable activities in my danger zone include watching too many YouTube videos, drinking and eating too much, frivolous spending. These things are all in my comfort zone, but I need to avoid spending any time in them. The problem is, that's easier said than done. Why? Because of the force of complacency. The force of complacency is like an incessant headwind. If you just sit there and let it, it's going to push your comfort zone all the way back into your danger zone. But the force of complacency is not as strong as the force of reality, so you can actually overcome it. You just have to spend less time in the part of your comfort zone that overlaps your danger zone and more on the other edge of your comfort zone, which is towards your potential. Doing so is a matter of three things: sanity, motivation, and patience. Sanity is knowing not to push the edges of your comfort zone that lead towards your danger zone. For instance, I could spend hundreds and thousands of dollars to make the most beautiful, perfect YouTube video ever, or I could go stalk outside of Tim Ferriss's house begging him for mentorship. Both of those things are way at the edge of my comfort zone, and they're also insane. All they'll do is push my comfort zone into my danger zone, so there's no way I'm going to do them. Second is motivation. Motivation gets you going to the edges of your comfort zone and expanding it into your potential. For self-motivation, I suggest you try the grown-up technique from my previous video on how to work out when you don't feel like it but know you should. And then number 3 is patience. For patience, try using perspective. For example, it helps me to have the perspective of how puny my comfort zone used to be only a few years ago and how much it has grown since. My younger self didn't even know how to use a camera. He worked in finance and didn't know anything about marketing either. He never would have gone out on a limb, writing his thoughts and publishing them online. He didn't even know how to make a website. Now, all of those things are well inside my comfort zone. I actually love doing those things, and that's all thanks to me slowly but steadily pushing against the edge of my comfort zone and fighting complacency. So if I keep pushing at the edge of my comfort zone to fight complacency, I know that in a few years from now, my future self is going to look at my current self today the same way that I look at my previous self a few years ago. He's going to look at my comfort zone and think, that's quite the pitiful comfort zone, and he's going to have a much bigger one. And having this perspective gives me the patience to keep at it. Now think of your own example. What are some insane things that you should absolutely not be doing? What can you do to motivate yourself to do the right thing? And what kind of perspective can you take to stay patient? All right, so that's strategy number 2, fight complacency to stay out of the danger zone. Now, let's bring it all together. To expand our comfort zone into our true potential, we need to stop fighting reality by deluding ourselves and start working to figure out where our true potential really lies and working in that direction. We need to stay sane, stay motivated, and stay patient so that we can overcome complacency and stay way the hell out of the danger zone. So now, do you have a comfortable understanding of this diagram? And for that example that you hopefully thought of, do you have some idea of what you can do today to start pushing your comfort zone into your potential? I do, and hopefully you do too. Because while that diagram may roughly depict where you're at today, it doesn't have to stay that way. Keep at it, and one day, your diagram may look like this. Your comfort zone is way away from your danger zone. It's huge, and it fills up a huge part of your potential, so that pretty much everything you do is in your happy place. It's not easy, and it'll take a lifetime of hard work to get anywhere close, but that's life. And there's nothing better you can do with life than fulfill your potential. So I don't know about you, but I look forward to the challenge. And if you're ready to take on this challenge too, why not help me fulfill my potential and help you fulfill your own potential by liking, subscribing, and commenting on this video. The unconventional route is a lot of fun, or at least it's better than the conventional route, and I'd love to have you join us. So do it, especially if it makes you uncomfortable.